Zion's Custom Upholstery, where we make it fun for buns. Here we are today. We are going to be removing the cover of this armrest console for a 2012 Toyota 4Runner. This particular client ordered an aftermarket replacement cover. Not sure who the maker is, but he decided to forego trying to install it himself and call on us here at Zion's Custom Upholstery. And so we will be removing the old cover and putting on this replacement here. There are one big difference in this color, and that is, not in this cover, is that there is a seam, a French seam on this replacement cover, and the original OEM cover is just seamless. So I guess you want to add a different look to his armrest console, and that would add a different look to the vehicle. I don't know if the video depicts or the lighting allows, but there is a slight color variance or difference. The original console is a bit darker, and a lot of times that's because of the oil and the dirt that has been transferred to the console after years of usage and exposure. Anytime you want to look for the true color of an armrest console, or just your seats or any type of interior in your vehicle, always look for an area that is unexposed. And so a lot of times you have to come on the underside of the this particular article, the underside of the armrest console, and look for areas that hadn't been touched. And that kind of just gives you a more true representation of what the original cover looked like, or the original color. So anyway, we're gonna dive right in and get this reupholstered. We got a few Phillip head screws here, so let's go ahead and get those out. A lot of times the closure mechanism here won't need to be removed, but in some cases they will before you go to trying to pop loose the shell from the cover. It's just a better practice to go ahead and remove them, just in case that they are anchored down to the shell and would prevent the cover from being removed. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove those as well. Sometimes, like I said, they don't have to be removed, but it's just a better practice. And immediately I could tell that they probably didn't have to be removed because the post of the screw is really short. But nevertheless, it's always better to err on the side of caution. So let's get a trim tool here and kind of wedge the shell cover part, pop it loose. for the best. There we go. Those clips, the retaining clips are holding this cover really nice and snug. Toyota did a good job in putting this one together. Kind of work our way around. So now we just have a series of staples to remove. That's pretty common. It's armrest consoles, got staples going all the way around. So we're just gonna take this all here and get those out. What we may have to do is remove this bracket here, and we will, because that's going to allow us to access the staples here along the back of the Shale, and it's going to allow us to, when we come back with the new cover, to add those new staples. That's going to allow it to stay in place. So we're going to go ahead and remove this bracket here. It's only 4 screws there. 4 Phillip head screws, so let's get those out. And again, I'm using an awl to remove these staples. This awl has a point on it, and it allows me just to get up under the staple a little bit easier, where a staple remover or staple puller, it does the same thing. And it's just a preference. In this particular situation, it's a preference, but in different applications, a staple remover or puller would be better suited in other situations, and all may be. So it just all depends on what it calls for, and you'll have to approach each job differently. This is also just a little cheap little staple puller as well. And you can remove these staples once you've gotten all of them popped up. You can remove them all at one time, or you can remove them as you go along. Whichever works for you. I kind of pop some up and remove them as I go along. As you can see, we're getting just about got this cover off. Got one here in the corner, a little stubborn. And as you remove your cover, I would just want to pay attention to detail. That way when you come back with your new covering, you got an idea of how it laid and how the manufacturer did it. And that's only going to aid you with doing the job right and making sure you get the proper installation. So yeah, just kind of take note of how things are and whether the material is trimmed and how far it runs from the edge up under the shale. And that's really going to help you out. But not only an armrest console, but any kind of upholstery repair. Always pay close attention to the way that the manufacturer had it. So coming down the home stretch here with the staples. voila. And that is the original cover from Toyota. And the texture of it, the underside is kind of foamy. It's a foam lining that appears to be heat compressed or heat fused to the top of the cover. You can see there how the top of the cover is of a vinyl and the underside is a foam, and they're just infused together as one. So we don't need that anymore. And the Shale, I don't know if the lighting will allow you to see, but the Shale is hard plastic here, but there is a foam padding here. So it's a little thin, maybe that's about 1/8 of an inch foam that runs right on top, and you can see where it started to leave an impression here, but it's nothing major. It's on the verge of being major. And so this is our new cover here. See how this is going to fit up. Okay, let's make sure we got it on in the right direction. There's nothing on here that indicates front or back. It's just something you kind of have to take a look at and figure out yourself. If you order one of these things and you decided to do it on your own, so I don't think it would hurt, and as a matter of fact, I think it would be better served if we add a layer of padding. Because even though we're going to pull this material nice and snug, it still appears that there may be just a little slack. And so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna add a layer of Dacron padding. That's gonna make it a little bit plusher. And yeah, so let's do that, and then we'll follow up here and finish this up.